My name is John Pettit. I was the project manager and program manager for Oncor during our AMI deployment. We started this project over 10 years ago, and we actually finished up about 6 years ago, fully deployed. At first, AMI was all about meter reading and saving on truck rolls. But nowadays, it's all about analytics, and a lot of those analytics now are focused on the customer. How do we benefit the customer? And I may mention AMS and AMI, and that's Advanced Metering System, and AMI, and it is essentially the same thing. So Oncor is a USA, Texas-based utility. We're about the 6th largest in the US, 3.6 million meters, 10 million customers, about 4,000 people. We are in a completely deregulated environment, so we are transmission and distribution utility only. The competitive side is on generation and the retail side. So the biggest thing, of course, initially with AMI was O&M savings. In the States, obviously, travels a lot. I've got some numbers here. Our staff reduction, field reduction personnel, once we went AMI, was about 650 people to less than 90. In the last 9 years, we've done almost 30 million service orders remotely, and that includes move-ins, move-outs, disconnect switch operations, reconnects. 250 million kilometer miles saved driven, 55 million liters of fuel saved, 121 tons of CO2 environment released savings. And that's in addition to all the cost, general costs associated with truck leases, fuel, etc. We do about 12,000 to 15,000 service orders a day, of which a lot of those are prepaid service, and we do over 4 million a year, all remotely. AMI is all about automation, and that was what we thought AMI was. So some examples, these are in-service practical examples. AMS, OMS integration, tie in AMI. This is probably the first integration that anybody does, is tie into your outage management system. In this case, because of this, we've determined, or we've learned that 25% of the time we can actually resolve a problem without rolling a truck. We can do that because we ping meters, we do on-demand reads. We actually get people out and we work jobs before customers get home from work, so that 5 to 7 p.m. time of the day is actually, it used to be when everybody called, and now we actually find that resolved, and the people don't realize they actually had a power outage except for those blinking digital clocks. So as I mentioned, of outage events closed by meter pings, this is on a blue sky day. You can see the thousands of events in a month. This is 2018 data. And so anywhere from 14 to 18% of the time, we don't have to roll the truck because we actually ping and we actually find out that it's a customer issue. So we actually don't have to roll trucks in that case. Another thing we've done is a lot of focus on the customer, analytics. One of the first things we did is we implemented a texting program. We have about 1/6 of our customers now enrolled in this. And what it does is once you enroll, if you get an outage and your meter sends an outage notification to us, we tell you that your power is out. We then give you a good estimated time of restoration. And when your power is restored, we tell you. And that's a very high confidence factor because we trust the data. We know that the meter is accurate and it's telling us what is going on. And that's different from our outage management system where we tell you there's power out in your neighborhood, please call us. So that's something that we can do. We've actually currently in development, we have a customer app. And what's interesting, remember, we don't own the customer. We're not the retail side. We are transmission distribution only. The customers call us for outages only. Our service requests come through the retail providers. But in this case, we're actually building a mobile app that actually can give customers information on their service requests. So I mentioned analytics. We've got a very active analytics program. Originally, the focus was on transmission distribution. But one of the things, and this is a simple one, is we have a business transformation in place and people submit ideas. And one of the ideas someone submitted was a high bill toolkit. What this is it's a set of analytics and bringing correlating data for a specific customer. And it pulls up 5 years of history of the customer along with their usage. And what this does is it provides a call center an outlet so that these calls used to take about 8 minutes in the past, and it now takes about 3 minutes. And so this saves us $250,000 a year US. Now, $250,000 a year is pretty good considering it costs us about $3,000 to put this together. So this is a great example of simple analytics, things that are underway that we're doing. So there's many other customer cases that help the customer. Power quality, tampering and theft. Anytime we can fix a problem before the customer is aware of it is great. Anytime we can do work during the day, from asset health monitoring that we can do without having people on overtime, it lowers all of our operating costs, and that in turn is passed back to the customer. Obviously, other things related to transformer load management, feeder load management, predicting transformer failures. Again, anything that we can do on a preventive maintenance versus a reactive maintenance. Finally, just some key ideas. Field personnel savings was the first thing that AMI was going to help, and what helped everybody. Service order automation benefits the customer because the customer now can call us, and within less than an hour, that customer has their power back restored, or if the retailer wants us to disconnect, that's done essentially in minutes. AMS-OMS integration is a given. That's the first thing that every utility should do because that is something that is an automatic process, and it's something that benefits all the customers. You know when the power's been restored, you know where the nested outages are, you know how to find those outages now, where in the past you didn't necessarily know that. And AMI is the enabler. I would say probably 80% of our analytics projects at Oncor and many of the other utilities in the US are focused on meter data because those meters are sensors. They provide engineering data. They can provide a lot of information about how efficient or reliable your network is. And so you have to take advantage of that. So the pilots are done. The customer benefit and the return on your investment's out there. Talk to your fellow utilities. Talk to people that have done this. And don't hesitate. You need to go out and do this thing because the benefits to the customers are incredible. Thanks.